Blessings, Empress Vibrant here.
Hey, Empress Vibrant here. Hope everybody is bliss. So, welcome to your March 2022 reading. I hope you've enjoyed thus far. How the last part of the 2021 phase is actually closing out, making way for our new year, our spring energy, that's Aries energy. So, while we're in our Pisces phase, we're still in the emotional energy. We're working through things. We are tapping into what we're feeling. We're tapping into transmuting that energy also. So that's just the energy of what's going on. I'm going to do a general. It will not resonate with everyone. However, take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment, and share. You don't know who would benefit from these messages, so please share and hit the notification bell so that you can be up to the time on the new videos as they come up. So, hey, welcome to your March reading. So, the overall energy we are looking at is the all tied up energy. Yeah, all tied up. So I feel like we're working through this. I think the last month or two has been an energy where we have been breaking the bonds. Can you see how this lady is tied up with all of these vines? You know, so this energy, you know, we're talking about the conflict. You know, we've got a number 5 here, so we're talking about conflict. We're talking about loss, change, rebuilding. You know, making sure that we're able to balance where we're at, because this tied up energy makes us feel like we have nothing to, no leverage. So for some of you, this is kind of remembering who you are, the skills that you have. And that you actually do have something to barter with, you have something to work with, you know, whether this is just trading of skills, whether this is, you know, a back and forth, like a trading of words. This could be reasoning, this could be having to stand up for what you believe in. At the bottom of the deck we have the thinking man. Okay, so we know that we're going from a stage of feeling very limited with this all tied up energy into actually starting to see, actually, I have some great assets. Actually, I have things I can work on. Actually, I have a brilliant group of people around me. I can move differently. I can change the way things look. 8, we've got movement, change, attainment, strength. So this is that energy of, you know, we're moving through. This is what I felt like before I saw that card. It's definitely moving through. We're moving through this energy where it just felt restricted. You know, always have to move with what other people are doing, so then we can make our moves when it should be the other way around. Just keep moving. And everything will fall into place. So I'm glad that we're moving from this more restrictive kind of energy and more moving towards a more focused, more dedicated energy. So throughout this month, where we are moving through this, you know, restraint, kind of this, this restrictive energy, this restraint energy. The first energy that came out is the 6th chakra. So we have the energy of the 3rd eye chakra supports our inner sight and intuitive abilities. So again, the energy of the 3rd eye chakra supports our inner sight and intuitive abilities. Okay. So this is about listening to our intuition. These are the things that are known intuitively. These are the things that are known innately within our DNA. it makes sense. We know these things. And I feel like what's been working through with the third eye chakra energy, working with this all tied up. I think this all tied up energy has been in relation to having to manage what the feeling is. So I feel a sense of concern. But I also don't want to give it too much power. I don't want to feed into it. There's this energy of not wanting to feed into this energy of feeling trapped, although that's what's happening. So I figure what's happening in the third eye chakra is that you're seeing more deeper. So you're not just seeing things on a 3D level with this thinking man. This is going beyond, beyond the 3D and starting to fight battles in the higher realms. We're passing on the baton, as it were, or even just sort of, I can keep hearing fighting battles, making something straight, bringing back order. And sometimes in the 3D realm, it can be a lot more heavy lifting. However, when we are doing our affirmations and our prayers and our visualizations, doing this work in the 4 and 5D energy and above, in those kind of higher heavenly realms, we're talking about really awakening a different way of seeing things that is not subject to us just being humans, but us being divine beings, God's self. So when I was kind of like, asking why this sixth chakra come out, what is going on with this third eye energy? And then we've got the 5 of Wands. So there's conflict, there's competition, there's things that are needing to be rebuilt, stances that need to be stepped into and stood up for. And I think that's kind of what's going on with this energy of conflict. I think it's like that for and against this. Are you riding for the same cause that I'm riding for? Do you believe in the same things that I believe in? And it's that kind of energy. And possibly at some point it was really making me feel kind of all tied up. I don't know what to say for the best. I don't feel the same way. I don't see things in the same way as they do. I don't show up in the same way, and just kind of like a lot of thoughts, of what's going to balance things out. But what's really good is that with this thinking man energy, you do have divine support with that masculine energy. And you also have someone in your space that you can tap into to have these communication. Because I feel like you've got an intuitive energy towards who you can speak to and why and when not to speak to certain people. So this is really good. You've got the 9 of Wands. So you are coming to the end of the crazy stuff. Yeah. So all of this competition and upheaval and things breaking down to be rebuilt. All of this is just so that you can build upon your, it's like fine-tuning your intuition, fine-tuning your connection to source with that higher realms energy. And the 9 of Wands is talking about almost coming to the end, still needing to stop and take a breather, analyze where you are. There's lots to be thankful for. So you stop in that moment and you give thanks and praises, but we still have yet a hurdle to go through. So when you've got the things that you are working with and it seems like there's a lot of opposition and things are just not moving as smooth as you would like, go up into the fifth chakra energy and the sixth chakra energy and get to that third eye state and just keep ascending with that, with the meditation, breath work, prayer, visualization, and really start to mold your reality in the way that you want. We've got the Hierophant. So yes, use your spirituality, use your belief, use your use your passionate belief in the outcome being positive, in the fact that, you know, if you are religious, then, you know, your creator or whatever it is, religious, spiritual, if you believe in a higher power, then you use that energy, that faith, and that energy within yourself to make decisions and to change things for yourself, so you can move out of this all tied up energy. Yeah, it's about stepping outside of this 3D, not staying so much in this realm. And I think as we are moving into this new moon energy, when we're starting to decide what we want, what is our hopes, what's our dreams, what's our aspirations, and we start affirming and we start setting our intentions, you know, it's best to step out of this 3D realm so that we can really set our sights higher than just, you know, simple material based things. We are asking for real peace and fulfillment and, you know, real joy, you know, that comes more than just, like I said, on this 3D realm. This is about peace, real inner peace, getting to know yourself, healing, growing. So I'm really liking that. That's that energy that's going on here. We'll also have authenticity. So authenticity, and authenticity is talking to us about being true to ourselves, showing up without, you know, having to put on the airs and graces. So it says, authenticity, the energy of authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives, with others as well as with ourselves. So the energy of authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects of our lives, with others as well as with ourselves. So this energy about just showing up, being honest, being truthful, and it's a choice. And I like the fact the energy of authenticity supports our choice to be genuine and truthful in all aspects, because there are certain things that we would definitely wish to not even have to deal with, you know, and also sometimes it's easier to wear the mask, sometimes it's easier to not say too much, and for some of you, you've got the Three of Wands. So I feel like for those who are waiting for something to happen, waiting for an outcome for other situations, I feel like with that sixth chakra, for some of you, it was about battling between, you know, what you believe, what somebody else believes, what their stance is, what your stance is, and being steadfast in it, and knowing that although it's really difficult right now, it's not going to last. You're at the 9 of Wands, almost at the 10, almost at the end of a long a slog, you know. And I think just waiting for the ships to come in, waiting to see what the outcome will be. Sometimes it's been, you know, grin and bear, hold your breath, hold your tongue, don't say too much, you know, for fear of creating rifts. But we have here with that authenticity about being truthful. It's about standing up for what you believe in. We have the 7 of Wands. And if you notice that these wands, there's a lot of action, there's a lot of things taking place, a lot of things that you're having to push through. So I can understand why that all tied up energy is here. And then we have the thinking man, where we've started to really look at what we're doing. Are we happy with where we're at? What is happening? And when is it time to just be like, whoa, hold on a second. I'm not on what you're on. And you can kick and scream and cuss and shout and throw your toys out of the pram all you like. But this is my stance. This is me being authentic. This is me being truthful, you know, and being genuine and being truthful to myself. And that's kind of like the energy that we're moving into with this, in this March energy. I'm really loving the fact that, you know, we're starting to really look at ourselves from a very holistic standpoint, you know. It's a very holistic standpoint. It feels very much like I need to be in Zen mode. Yes, I'm here in the 3D getting on with it. You know, I've got much opportunities, and I feel quite a lot of you are working, doing things. And if you're not physically working, there's a lot of mental stuff going on. There's a lot of preparation. Okay, so I'm glad that that's the case. And yeah, stand up for what you believe in. Don't worry about ruffling feathers, because it's about you being authentic. And in you being authentic, you show people how you want to be treated. You can't keep bending or bowing for people. It doesn't make any sense, you know. And then we've got tenderness. Okay, tenderness. This glare is just a bit much. Tenderness. Okay. So we've got the energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. So I'll say again, tenderness. The energy of tenderness activates our capacity to open our hearts and approach the world and each other with gentleness and care. And that's that number 4 energy. So structure, foundation, stability, and planning. So the home, yeah, whatever's going on in the household, children, partner, household bills, responsibilities, duties, remembering to handle each other with care and tact in this particular time, because we already know things are going on. We've already said, for some of you, it's about standing up for yourself in this time, being authentic. For some of you, this is the conflicts that's going on. And for some of you, you're gonna have to be quite gentle and tender with yourself, yes, and with others. So see where they're coming from. Really try to listen and try to see if there's anything that you can physically do to support. If it works out that it's really about you having to surrender to another person's will or view, then that's not what we're doing. But what we are doing is listening to the train of thought. We're listening for the cry for help. We're listening for the prompts to how better to serve the situation and each other. And I think that's the kind of tenderness energy we're talking about. It's like, you know, picking up on the subtle changes in the moods. And that's why I'm talking about opening your heart to approaching the world with gentleness and care. So when you have an energy of care and you know that, wow, this person's, you know, they're feeling a lot, they're going through so much, you know, they're not feeling their best, then that gentleness or that sort of care energy makes you approach them in a different way without having this sort of warlike mentality, that the conflict is more a battle of wills or logic, reasoning, trying to get, you know, your points across in a articulate way. So we have so tenderness, what's happening with this energy. So we've got the 6 of Swords. And 6 of Swords talks about wanting to escape something that's not working. You recognize that there's more going on, there's more to this situation, and you having to keep standing up for yourself and having to, you know, constantly, or possibly having to constantly bite your tongue because you're not stepping into this energy and you're not being this energy where you're not feeling the strength to fight or to stand and having to do the chatting. Because for some people, and I get it, same here, sometimes I'm like, for the greater good, I ain't gonna fight and argue, you know, I'm just gonna say and keep it pushing. Because sometimes just to beat up the gums just feels long. And this is what this energy is about. It's like to show myself that tenderness and that care. I'm going to leave the situation. I'm not going to have everybody mess up my head, because it's swords. So we're talking about communication, our thoughts, our consciousness, our logic. So these are all of the things we're mulling over. From at the beginning of the reading, it's been heavy fire energy, you know, with the wands. You know, had 9 of Wands, 3 of Wands, 7 of Wands, you know, so we're dealing with the fire signs. So that's the Aries, Leo and Sagittarius kind of energy. So possibly that's the kind of what you'll be working through. Now with this Swords energy, having to be tender with yourself, it's about not beating yourself up, number one, And just this energy with this sort of like fleeing the situation. This is like how I like to call like moonwalking out of a situation. Like, let me just back on up because I haven't got the headspace for all of this ish, you know? And then we have where is it? Yeah, 10 of Wands. So you see, backing up away, for some of you, backing up away from the situation helps you to move to this 10 of Wands, where you finally decided what's going on. You've dropped all of these wands, you've done the hard work, you're ready to say, it's my time to show myself some care and compassion. I've done all the heavy lifting, I've worked with you folks, I've bit my tongue, I've put in the work, I've this is the end part of the game now. I've done my bit for society. You know, I've put in what I can give and I'm about to keep it moving. So for some of you, you moving out of the situation, showing yourself that tenderness has actually supported the situation closing all that more quicker for you. And I think it was a resolve that for some of you needed. And for some of you, this 10 of Wands represents just being comfortable with the end. Number one, the fact that, right, okay, what does the next chapter look like? And I'm glad that we're moving into this new moon phase. And we are asking ourselves what's next. You know, things were really difficult, but things are about to pick up for me. Things are about to change up in this biatch. You know, we've got the 9 of Pentacles. So being at a stage where we are saying, oh, my finances are picking up. I'm able to be more self-sufficient. I'm able to treat myself more. I'm able to be more interdependent. I'm able to, you know, really spend that time on myself. And I think that tenderness comes from the fact that, you know, listen, I've been doing the hard work. Look at how this person's carrying these wands. It's been long. It's been long. We need a little tenderness. We need a little time. Yeah. It's been emotional. You see the 6 of swords here and this water. Pure emotions. Wanting to find something different. This hard work. Busting a sweat. To this point where it's like, yeah, man, I must start to try to live off the fruits. Treat myself. Do the things that I actually enjoy, because if I ain't gonna show myself no TLC, I don't know who is, and you ain't finna wait for nobody to do that. Hold on a second. Yeah, so it's that kind of energy. And then we have here the justice energy. So it's about this balance, and I think that's what it is. Balancing out all of the ish that's happened. It's been difficult, like I said, biting your tongue, going through things, turning up at that job that jars your head, jars your brain, chatting to those people that make this kind of mundane, that conflict in the office. For some of you, this is, you know, the energy of dealing with people on the day to day. You know what I mean? And we're just wanting not to be around with that 6 of Swords energy, really thinking, what is everybody's problem? Balancing that out with some focus on the more positive side, cutting yourself some slack, giving yourself a bloody break, being tender to yourself, treating yourself to something nice, and then dealing with your family, sorting out your household, balancing the shit that's going on at home. It's got to start from a place of tenderness. It's got to start from a place of love. You've got to approach the situation with care, with tenderness, with tact, you know. But this doesn't mean that you still don't stand for what you believe in and you don't just take anything. That's not what's going on here. But the energy is about finding that balance in a space where it's comfortable and you're able to fully immerse yourself in affairs of the house, your stability, feeling comfortable at home, your spouse, your children, you know, everything that's necessary is taken care of. Those things are done so that you can take some time being more what's the word, more in the present, you know. Give yourself some Yeah, cut yourself some slack, basically. Give yourself a little pat on the back for what you've done already. So we've got this intuition. Okay, so this intuition energy is talking to us about the energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the three-dimensional reality. The energy of intuition supports our ability to conceive the subtle language of the realms beyond the three-dimensional reality. And this is what I was talking to you about before, with that sixth chakra, where we're talking about that third eye. It's about doing the work up here and not down here, where we are more subject to our emotions. And sometimes if you haven't got a handle on your emotions will your emotions might promote you to say, well, instead of taking action on something and doing something for the greater good, because I'm pissed off, because I don't like the way you talk, because you're not doing things the way I would like you to, I'm not partaking in this, or I'm not, just there's that kind of energy as well. But with this intuitive energy, this is about going beyond this 3D energy, like it said, beyond what the eyes can see, beyond beyond what the eyes can see, and more about what you feel, the subtle language of the realms. Like there's different tones, different vibrations, like it says, a subtle language. It's about being able to read the situation. I remember I used to find it really, really frustrating when I used to be in situations and someone would come in and they just didn't read the room. Like, you didn't clock the energy, you just bowled in like a bull in a china shop. You didn't even pre-up what the energy was, who was there. You didn't even look at the hazards. There was no, it was just, ugh. And I'm like, no, you need to learn to read the situation. You need to see. Sometimes you should be able to, I said, I've been always been very, very, very sensitive to energies and stuff. And even as a very small child, I was able to just read situations. And sometimes I just watch and be like, you didn't see that, did you? You're not clocking what's going on. And I think that's kind of the energy that's going on. It's about reading the energy. It's your powers of discernment. It's about looking at the pros, the cons, weighing up these things, but in a more holistic sense. We've got the Ace of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles speaks to us about the untapped possibilities and in abundance and stability. So there are so many different ways in which for us to make our money, to stabilize our finances, to cement our careers, and also get to that stage where we are shining, where we are at the forefront of things. We are very much ready to take those leaps of faith, but the intuition is what's going to give us the nudge to take the moves at the right time. And even listening to, we had like a sort of reflection meeting with Rojo House, and it was nice to sort of integrate and get back, because everybody's been doing different things at different stages, and not everybody's been on, we've been on rhythm at the same time, but not necessarily doing the same things. And one of the brothers that I do the astrology and tarot forecast, Daryl Whitaker, he was speaking about tapping into the astrology energy. So it's like doing things on favorable dates, booking things to do on, booking events on a specific dates, because it's a date that is has positive energy around it. It's a day where things are exalted. There are, where it's a day where the energy is so much more higher, days where the veil is thinner, It's that kind of thing. And if you're able to tap into that kind of energy, you know, when the best time is to invest in things, there's certain dates or certain times where it's like, it's not really best to part with your pentacles at this time. Keep your money in your purse. And then there's perfect opportune times where it's like strike while the iron's hot. You know, you'll be able to, you know, it'd be very lucrative if you make this deal or that deal. It'd be very lucrative to collaborate at this time, to look at your budget here, you know, and all of those things. And I found that to be really interesting, and it really got my creative juices flowing like for real. You know, there is ways that you can tap into these things, and I think intuitively you'll have different nudges along the way. Like you'll hear people say things that make your insides go you know, you have like a stirring, or it will light a fire under you, and all of those things are intuitive nudges. Your body gives off certain things. You know, you might have sweaty palms, you might have itchy palms, whatever. Little things, they're going to be subtle. Like it says, the subtle language, you know, the subtle language of the intuition working through the more than the three-dimensional world. And I just think that in itself is just a beautiful way of kind of looking at our intuition. That it's a language. It's pay attention to the signs, see it all, you know, feel it all. Okay, so like I said, with that untapped abilities, there are so many opportunities coming up, and your intuition will give you that energy to know when it's time to get on with it, and when it's time to be like, yeah, no, not this particular venture. I'm not parting with my money here. I'm not breaking bread here. I would prefer to go and part with my change here. I'm going to, you know, like there's an energy. And then we've got the Five of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles talks about this energy of lack, feeling left out, and possibly on the outside looking in. This could be talking about not having the pentacles that you want. It talks about constraint, as I feel for some of you, going through a lot financially. There's some stress going on. It feels almost like you don't know when things are going to look up. And I think this intuitive energy is sort of to say there's going to be a time when you've got to feel the energy, when you'll be told to, no, go and play the lottery. You know what I'm trying to say? Throw a partner with your friend, invest in that NFT, with that Bitcoin, whatever it is. But there's going to be subtle things for you to be able to tap into that, so you don't feel like you're outside of things, so you don't feel left out. You don't feel like this financial, technical time is passing you by and you're not really in the flow of it. But the intuition will give you those nudges for when it's time for that. And we've got the Lover's energy, and the Lover's energy again talks about what it is that you're willing to put forth, what you're willing to do. Know that you feel comfortable with whatever you're going to do, that you're putting yourself above everything. You know, and when it talks about your partnerships, making sure your partnerships are the ones that you feel comfortable with, you know, that you're not making too many outlandish sacrifices for this coin, or you're not doing too many things because you don't have the coin, or there's an energy around some type of sacrifice or some type of it almost feels like it almost feels like that energy is mainly I think it's just about balancing, really balancing what you're willing to do. Be creative, create. Remember, there's enough to go around as well. Because I feel like there's a strategic energy going on, but it's teetering on the edge of a little bit malicious at the same time. And what that energy is, you take that as it resonates. Let's have a look, see. So we're almost up to the 35-minute mark. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a part 2 to this. So the first cards are the first 2 weeks. So within the first 2 weeks of March, yeah, it's this moving through this all tied up energy, you know. And like I said, we're working towards this thinking man. This thinking man energy is what's supporting us moving through this all tied up energy, and, you know, using our 6th chakra, using our 3rd eye, you know, to work through the conflicts, the competition, you know, coming to the end of this really hard situation. It's been very, very stressful, you know, possibly having to keep up with, it's about keeping up with the motion of life with this, without being tied up, but also balancing these spiritual realms. And the spiritual realm is where you'll be able to do most of your heavy lifting, which will be less tiring and less taxing on your body and your mind. We have the authenticity. So within the first 2 weeks, you're going to be put in situations where you're going to need to put yourself first. You're going to need to be truthful in all areas of your life, with yourself and with others. You know, when it comes to looking at the decisions that you've already made, you know, maybe you have to stand firm in it and say, whatever is going to be the outcome, this is where I stand on it. I'm nervous, and the 3 of Cups is about waiting to see what's happening. So I know for some of you there's nerves around it, and for others of you, you're like, yeah, what I've put out, I should get back, you know. And then you've got others of you who are having to stand up for what you believe in. You've made a decision with that 3 of Cups. I'm a 3 of Swords, waiting for the, I said it again, 3 of Wands, waiting for your ships to come in. You've made a decision. You've took action on something, you know, and possibly it's like it's come up now that, you know, maybe some people are not happy with how it's gone, and you're like, well, that's neither here nor there. That was what I needed for me, kind of thing. But then there is an energy around being tender in this time to yourself and others, because I think it's the way you're approaching. We've got to approach all situations with gentleness at the moment, because I think, well, we're deciding, look, for some of us, we have not got the headspace for the extras. We have not got the headspace for the F3s. We don't. We're trying to look at this. This is like Moon walking out of this thing. Yeah, she's on the boat. She's ducking out. Yeah, with that 6 of Swords. She knows there's too much going on in the head. I know there's more. There's too much going on. I've been working so hard. And I'm ready to put all this down. This is the 10. I've worked so hard. I'm moving away from all of this harsh energy. I've stood up for myself. I've showed people how I want them to deal with me. You know, I'm now being able to enjoy the fruits of my labor. I'm almost at a stage where I feel comfortable with my finances, to a point where I should be able to treat myself. You know, and it's about being tender and showing yourself that care within this time as well. And it's about the balance. So I think the balance is the hard work, working hard, being sensible, paying the bills, you know, taking care of your duties in the home, doing everything that you're supposed to do. However, the balance between that, having fun, and the duties, it's got to be a balance. And it's about being tender and kind to yourself, and not just being a drill master, a drill sergeant, you know, so that you can spend this time enjoying building your family stability in the way that you want it. And it has to start from the energy of tenderness. Yes, stand up for yourself, you know, create the balance in the home. Make sure there's interdependence going on. We're working with each other. We're trading our skills and our abilities. We're talking, we're reasoning. You know, we're willing to walk away from a situation if it ain't yielding what we want. And then we have the intuition. Okay, and the intuition is telling us to really, really feel these intuitive nudges, listen to the signs, look about the times that feel more favorable when you have that excited energy, because we've got the Ace of Pentacles. So it talks about a time where this is come to a time where there's some boundless opportunities going on, you know. And as we're coming up to this new moon energy in Pisces, I'm like, listen, this is the time of manifestation. This is the time of setting your intentions. So feel that energy. When you got that inkling to invest in something, to buy a lottery ticket, to, you know, whatever it is, because yeah, there's boundless possibilities here, you know, because for some of you, this Five of Pentacles energies, this is like being left out in the cold, being left behind. This is that lack mentality. So for some of you, there is this lack mentality. There is nothing ain't going on. I don't want to be left out. I don't really get all this technology stuff. What is all of this NFTs? What is all of this things that people are investing in? What is all of this? I feel so alienated, left out of the thing. What is it all about, kind of thing. And it's at a stage where you've got to really make sure that you are listening to your intuition on when it's time to ask for help, when it's time to collaborate with people, when it's time to not press your face up against the glass and look about what's going on, but not actually participate. So there's an energy around knowing when it's time to participate in something. And then with the Lovers, it's about that energy level where it's talking about our collaborations are coming together, what we're willing to do, you know, what we're willing to do for our Pentacles, what we're willing to do for our for things to be well with our family, for our children, for our well-being, you know. And it's about our sacrifices and our whether we're doing things for the right reasons. And that's going to be the energy for the first 2 weeks of March, and I'll do the part 2 with the mid-March and the ending, and I may end up doing one video in between, because I am doing my weekly tarot and astrology forecast with Daryl, which I will be posting on this channel each week, every Sunday. So look out for that. So please like, share, subscribe, and comment. Let me know if anything resonates as well. And also, yeah, share and subscribe, please. And like people. It helps with the algorithm. Just like up the video then. Yeah, all right, take care. Blessings.